Hello and welcome to this very special edition of For Your Consideration. Now, from time to time I get sent rule systems and rule books from various people around the globe who are producing material. And every now and again, one of those books that comes through gets me so inspired that I just want more. So this is the book that they sent me. I mean, it's cover to cover, absolutely phenomenal. Now, I'm not going to go through too much of it. It's a thick book. This is a setting book rather than the rule book itself. But it's just thick. Absolute sublime quality. Now, I've got the actual rule book here. I asked them to send me this PDF so I could show you just the amazing artwork. I mean, sorry, look at that. It's just horrifically inspiring. It's a post-apocalyptic kind of setting. There's this weird thing that's gone on and that's happened in Europe, in the world, and that's caused all sorts of things to happen. Now, the system is a D6 system, so it's accessible by everybody and by anybody. You can really get into it quite quickly. You have your ability scores, that's standard kind of stuff. You've got psyche, you've got instinct, you've got charisma, you've got intellect, agility, body, obviously, in terms of physicality and those kinds of things. So you've got your attributes and then you've got your skills. And your skills, of course, give you a certain amount of dice. Your abilities give you a certain amount of dice. And bingo, that's your dice pool. Now, your dice, you roll them out, and sixes don't explode. They turn into what they're called triggers. Multiple triggers are sometimes needed to count as a success. Now, if you roll anything above a 4, 5, or 6, you can contribute that towards your outcome. You might need multiple outcomes. On 6 dice, you might need 3 or 4 successful outcomes. If you get 6s on those dice, they contribute to an even better outcome. They push things beyond what you had just hoped to achieve. So there is this phenomenal system, very, very simple to get into, which is what I like. It's not overly complicated. You're not going to sit there for years going, but if I carry the 4, do I get a 13 plus? No, it's very, very simple, very straightforward. And like I said, incredibly thematic. Now, they've set up cultures from all over the globe, where the different people have adopted the strange outcome that the planet now finds itself in. And you've got this very, very weird space, kind of technological, what can be salvaged, but then mixed with, at the same time, this very savage nature, this very strange world where you've got mutants. I'm just watching these pages here. You've got mutants. You've got this very, very bizarre asteroid impact that's caused some strange things to happen. And it's just this general awesome space to play in. You've got firearms, of course, you've got maces. It's very cowboy, Wild West type of thing. We've got a sort of a Mad Max type of environment, but just so beautifully laid out and so beautifully set. The book is absolutely amazing. The artwork is phenomenal. I mean, it's just so evocative of this horrific space that they find themselves in. The books themselves have got amazing production value, nice and glossy, just wonderful finish to them. There's obviously more to the system than I spoke about. They talk about clans, they talk about cults, you develop your character through all of that kind of stuff, and then you have this amazing world to explore. And if I can I don't think it's in the core rule book that they have included it. I'll just have to check. No, they didn't, and that's sent me back there. I'll just have to check. No, they didn't. But in the environmental book, in the world book, there's this beautiful map, and I hope you can see it. There's a stunning map of Europe and what remains after this great event. And you've got areas like the Gauntlet, the Protectorate, uncharted territory is what Britain is called. Northwestern coast of Franca is what has become of Northern Africa-esque to a degree, of Europe, of France, obviously. And there are some fascinating options to explore here. Now, the books make it very, very clear, of course, that they are not trying to ascribe or prescribe a specific outcome or eventuality for this planet of ours, but It is a space that you can play in. You've got these mecha as well. Sorry, these robot type creatures that wander around. It is a wonderful, wonderful setting. So if you're looking for a whole new role-playing system that's not difficult to get into, that has these incredibly thematic moments, these strong narrative feelings. Look at what the Messiah become. These AK-47 wielding survivors who have to face off against infected animals that have got this demented spore thing floating around inside of them. It's absolutely terrifying as an environment. So gritty, so real. I mean, look at that thing. Absolute nightmare of a space to play in, which of course makes it that much more awesome. And there's, like I said, there are several books out there that one can access, and then you can buy PDF bundles and that sort of thing. The website is linked below. I thoroughly enjoyed delving into this world to the point that I finished reading through some of the rules and reading through some of the descriptors and environments and things, and I immediately got a hold of my players and said, guys, we've got to start this. We've got to get into this space. It's absolutely amazing. There's so much opportunity out there for some good role playing. It's really awesome combination of this post-event environment. It's something that I find particularly refreshing, especially when you start delving into things like they've got mammoth riders. Mammoths have returned. They've got motorcycle gangs. There's people who feel that they are judicial lords that they drive around these big convoys and they just dish out justice as they come across it. Old meets new meets post-apocalyptic, all brought together into a very elegant rule system. If you can see behind me, that tree is the expansion possibilities of that particular class as they diverge and grow and adapt, and how they all link together and what prerequisites you need to be able to get to this particular point of that. It's just so elegant as well in terms of the layout. High production quality, like I said. I was blown away, and often I get these rule books and I go, yeah, I'll do a review on those maybe one day sometime in the far future. This is one where I went, this is stunning. This is something really worth getting your mitts into if you can. Go and have a look at that website of theirs. Watch that trailer again. I mean, the trailers, it's just wonderful. It's just absolutely wonderful. And what a way to set up a game system then with that absolute trailer. So Degenesis, go look for it. Originally it came from Germany. Well, let's take it to the rest of the world. Let's spread it out like the spores that happen within the game system itself. And let's make sure that everybody knows about this wonderful system. Until next time, I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I wish you the very happiest of gaming.